Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. So, I am coming to you today from the Orchid House Hotel in Tulum. I'm here visiting, and I am going to be attending ISTA Level 2 on Saturday. However, I came a couple days early because there was a very special event taking place last night that I absolutely knew I had to attend because it was a book release party from one of my inspirations and teachers who almost like gave me permission to step into this work and to really start learning more about myself, tantra, body work, and what does it really mean to embody the sex priestess archetype. And so the teacher is Nadine Lee. Her Instagram is Tantric Alchemy Official. And so last night here in Tulum, she had an incredible party that was in a style of a temple night, you guys. There was about 60 people there, and we had an absolutely magical night with so many amazing activations and ceremonies and dancing and play and connection. And one of the things she did, she gave us a book. This is her book, The Sex Priestess. And so today I want to come on and read you guys a couple pages from the beginning of the book to let you know who were the sex priestesses. And so if you guys are tuning in, maybe take a deep breath, because sex priestess is an archetype that lives in all of us. Whether you're a man or a woman, the archetype is an essence. We can connect to that essence through our awareness. Just like for men, there is archetypes of the lover, the magician, the warrior, the king. For women, there is archetypes such as the maiden, the mother, the crone, as well as the sex priestess. And so I am going to now read this to you guys. There is a deep knowing in my womb and heart of a time in history when woman, especially her body and sexuality, was honored as sacred. I have memories in my cells of times when women would dance in temples and men would come and worship them. These women were highly trained sex priestesses who possessed the ability to unlock the healing and liberating energy of the feminine in any man or woman who came into her temples. This feminine energy was Shakti, pure life force symbolized by the serpent, the Kundalini energy, as the expression of transformation, awakening, purification, and enlightenment. These priestesses worked to awaken the energy within themselves first and foremost, and were then able to awaken it within others with their divine presence, dance, healing arts, and sacred touch. They knew how to use the energy of sexuality to heal and to awaken. They were the healers, the oracles, the guardians of the sacred, the dancing dakinis, the pure vessels of divine feminine energy. They would bleed freely, and the sight of blood on their garments was seen as holy. It was considered an utter privilege to be in the presence of such sacred elixir. This was a time when feminine sexuality was repressed and revered, rather than hidden in the shadow and cast away as taboo. During this time in history, these women acted as the gatekeepers of an ancient wisdom that was stored within deep of their wombs. They were not afraid of the wisdom they had. They knew and trusted it intimately, and they felt safe to express and use it to awaken and heal humanity. The sex priestess is an archetypal figure in the collective consciousness of humanity. She is the part of you just as she once did in the temples, dances through life as an open, receptive channel transmitting truth, beauty, liberation, and freedom. She does this simply through the power of her embodied transmission. She does this simply by living her truth, speaking her truth, and expressing her truth through all she chooses to create. Therefore, the way this archetype is expressed looks different for every single woman on the planet. She is the untamed force of creation. In order to become this open vessel of creation, she must go through a process of unraveling all that is in the way of being open to receive, everything that blocks her from being the portal of creation. The unraveling process starts with undoing all of her familiar conditioning around being a woman, specifically around a woman's. The Wi-Fi is coming in and out, so I finished with specifically around her body and sexuality. She is what we would call an illuminated one, an enlightened one, and not in a traditional sense of a guru sitting above others. Rather, she is an illuminated one in a truly embodied and integrated sense, a human who has fully activated their fullest potential by merging their sexuality and spirituality. Thus, this individual is able to anchor spiritual information through their physical body, through their sexuality, into creations on this earth plane. She is not looking to escape. She is very much here and now, present to the human experience, while simultaneously connected to a power beyond herself. Her consciousness is expanded, yet her feet are firmly anchored on the ground. A priestess has mastered dancing in both worlds. She does not see living in a suburban family home as less sacred and holy than living in a temple or an ashram. She knows the true secret of Tantra, and that is everything is sacred. This must be accomplished through a healed and awakened sense of sexuality. For when we deny our sexuality and our bodies, as so many religious and spiritual teachings tend to do, we are severing ourselves from the true and real definition of the word enlightenment. The sex priestess is the fully empowered woman, unstoppable, charismatic, and unapologetic about who she is and what she feels. She swims in a sea of authenticity and creative fire. She is lit from the inside out. When you meet her, when you make eye contact with her, you remember that you too are all of those things. She reminds you of your wildness and your truth. She becomes a catalyst for your liberation by reigniting your inner flame within. Standing in her presence, and you will walk away forever changed. Throughout the history, the sex priestess has had many different expressions. Indian traditions, a dancing dakini in the Tibetan Buddhist lineage, a temple dancer, an exotic dancer, a sacred prostitute, a tantrika, a performer. Essentially, she is any woman who has fully awakened to her full sexual and erotic expression and who knows how to use that sacred energy to awaken others. She does not necessarily do this by engaging with them sexually. She awakens others through the power of her own beingness and presence. She simply witnesses others in their full expression and gives them permission to shine. Simply by others witnessing her in her full feminine power, whether that to be performing on stage, captivating an audience with her embodied movements, or simply by sharing her presence through conversation. And so that's the few couple pages from this book. Again, you guys, this is The Sex Priestess by Nadine Lee. And so as I read through this few little pages, I hope this brings a little bit of clarity and perhaps a remembrance to you guys about the archetype of the sex priestess. And most importantly is to know that this is not about sex. This is about embodiments and liberation and understanding that our sexual energy is the power, and that I don't need to be nude or having sex with somebody in order to transmute my essence of my eros to another person. I can simply do that by eye gazing, by having a meaningful conversation, or by having a sacred conscious touch experience. And so my work in a way has unfolded through Nadine's work. She gave me permission to step into my Dakini Tantrika energy and to, first of all, hold my own eros, be able to activate my own Kundalini energy, to know my sexuality, to feel empowered in my sexuality, so that I can become a walking transmission for everybody that I come in contact with. And if you're clients and you've worked with me before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, because there is a level of essence and the vibration that you feel when you are in a temple experience. Tantric bodywork is something that I practice to transmit this energy through. However, there is no need for touch or anything extreme. It's simply about embodiment of your authentic self. And so that's the definition of the sex priestess, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little, and I will see you guys next time. Ciao.